Hello everyone, this is Bibi Cameron here, and today I'm passing by to share everything I have learned about the new Spellbinders BetterPress. This is a whole new system that will allow you to do letterpress in your home using your die cutting machine. The system has this top plate that is clear. It has metal beads in the four corners and also guidelines for the paper. It also includes this magnetic gray mat here that also has guides for A2 and A7 size panels. And if you see there, these line up with the guidelines on the top plate. And underneath the gray mat in the platform, you will place these three chims. Only if you are going to work with paper that is thicker than 310 grams or 118 pounds, you need to start removing these chims to guarantee that you have the right pressure on the system. This doesn't require a lot of pressure. This is going to go really smooth through the die cutting machine. And as you see there, if I just use my hands to press this top plate down, it will move. So this is not something that is stiff or static or that needs lots of pressure to move. Now let me show you something. Here I have the die cutting and embossing plates. These are designed to use with dies and embossing folders to die cut and emboss the paper. We also have the Spellbinders Glimmer hot foil system. This is electric and you will need hot plates and hot foil to transfer that foil to the paper using heat. All these systems or platforms works with any of the Spellbinders die cutting machines, and although they look similar, they are designed to do different things. I wanted to show you this in case you are newbie and you have that question. Now, to do Betterpress, you can use any ink, but Spellbinders in collaboration with Ranger has designed this high viscosity ink, and it provides the most gorgeous letterpress effect. It's available in 8 different colors. It's acid-free, permanent, waterproof, and non-toxic. These are mini cubes that comes in packages of 4 inks. You can also get red inkers that are sold individually. You have the regal tones that are these ones here, and I found them absolutely gorgeous. And we also have the nature tones palette that is also gorgeous. I'm going to play some music and I'm going to allow you to enjoy color by color. To do Betterpress, you also are going to need press plates. This comes in different sizes and different designs, and you will notice that they have lots of detail. I want to compare one of these ones with a Glimmer plate or a hot plate. So you can see here the Glimmer plate and the press plate. These are different also in thickness. The press plate is slightly thinner than the Glimmer plate. These are not designed to use with the Betterpress, but I'm going to show you how I do it. And you will find press plates in different designs, not only images but also sentiments, and some of these also have coordinating dies that make them a lot more exciting. To work with the Betterpress, you also are going to need tape. Spellbinders has this tape in different thickness, and I prefer this one here, so this is the one that I'm going to be using. You can also use any paper, but to achieve that really beautiful letterpress effect, Spellbinders is also offering these 100% cotton card panels that is available in 3 different colors: pebble, that is a gray color; porcelain, that is white but it's not ultra white, and you also get biscuit, that is a kind of ivory color. You also find this paper in packages of A4 sheet of cardstock, like this one that I have here, A7 and A2 panels. This paper is made in a paper mill in Europe. It's very thick, it's 118 pounds, so it's about 315 grams, and you can see the different colors here. Okay, we finally are going to do Betterpress. This is an A2 panel of porcelain cotton cardstock, and I'm going to grab this top plate of my Betterpress and I'm going to rotate it just to be able to place this paper in the back within those guidelines for the A2 panel, and I'm going to use this tape to tape it in place. So that's the step number 1 and it's done. Now we are going to place our press plate wherever we want it in the platform within those A2 guidelines, and we are going to ink it. That's the step number 2. You have to apply a lot of ink and you are going to dab the ink pad on the plate until the press plate is fully covered by the ink. And when this is done, we can move to the step number 3. That is also the final step. So we are going to place the top plate on the platform with the paper facing down, and we are going to run this through the die cutting machine just once. And that's it. So this is a very small learning curve. I will say there is no learning curve, it's just easy peasy. You will get in one go from the very first time stunning images. Pictures will never make justice to the results you have. This is something you have to see yourself. It's just absolutely gorgeous. And then I decided to use surgical spirit or rubbing alcohol to clean the mat, also the platform and the plates. I'm not sure if it's okay to use the alcohol over the metal, but I'm doing it anyways. And yes, you can pass the paper through your Betterpress several times to do different impressions in different areas of the paper using the same press plate or different ones. I'm just going to show you here a sample using Cosmic Sky ink. I'm going to run this through the machine just like I did in the previous one. So I got that image in one corner. I'm not going to move the plate at all from that position. What I'm going to move is this plate here. I'm going to rotate it to make sure that the image is going to be printed in the other corner. And as simple as that, I can print the image in both opposite sides of the paper. Please notice that this panel is 5x7 or 8x7. It's larger than the previous example or the other one I have here. And you can see that you can just place the plate in different areas of the paper. I have other samples here just to show you that with one press plate you can achieve different looks. So this is just one flower. These are the flowers in the opposite corners, and these are the flowers all around the panel. You can also do Betterpress on large die cuts if you want to, or you can die cut the paper later. I just wanted to see how this looks in this large 5x7 inches butterfly made using the Butterfly Card Creator die set. I think this is gorgeous by itself, and using different ink colors and different cotton paper colors will give you different looks. These cotton papers and these inks are designed to use with water-based mediums, so you can apply color to these images if you want to. Here I'm using Distress Oxide inks and also 6 to add color to those images. I also try to do some ink blending on the corners of the panels using a blending brush, and well, the sky's the limit to add color to these panels. I just wanted to show you briefly a couple of ideas because I really want to focus this video on the Betterpress itself. When I was inking this plate, and it took me like forever, 1 minute, I noticed that that gray mat was moving. Pay attention, it moves. And I was thinking, if this moves, and then I remove the smaller plate just to get a two-tone composition, maybe when I run this the second time on the machine, the image is not going to align. So I decided to ink all this up and run the plates all together in one go through the die cutting machine. And the image is gorgeous as expected. This is pebble cotton cardstock, and I decided just to show you because I was sure that that was going to happen, to do it and spoil my panel. So I passed this again in the machine and the image didn't align just because it moved a little bit. So let me show you how to do Betterpress Precision. A very, very simple tip is going to help you to keep your Betterpress clean and also make it super efficient, so you can do Betterpress in the same spot. And if you are using inks that are not Betterpress inks, you can do Betterpress multiple times until you achieve that beautiful look and feel. So this tip here is to protect your mat using press and seal or cling film. Make sure you don't have any bulk in the back. If you do, remove one shim please, because that's key. You don't need a lot of pressure on that machine. Now use masking tape to wrap this around, and that's it. That's a way to keep this healthy. Once you finish inking all the plates, and you can just replace this, or you can just leave it as it is and keep working. And because for videos I don't like to keep everything all messy, it's difficult to see and visually busy, I just changed that plastic several times. But in real life, I just will keep it, to be honest. So now I'm going to pass this first plate through the die cutting machine, and I use saffron ink. So that was easy, and it has gorgeous as expected. Now I'm going to place the smaller plate in place, just like that. I make sure that it's just as aligned as possible in that negative space. And then I'm going to apply ink, and I'm going to be careful. I don't want that plate to move. Then we just run this through the machine, and then we achieve a beautiful two-tone image, just like that. Now I'm going to show you that you can do Betterpress in the same spot. So I'm going to use two different press plates. I'm going to poorly ink these plates. I'm not going to do it properly. And I'm also going to try to add a darker ink color at the edges of the plates to see what happens. So yes, my image is not so vibrant and intense. It's good enough, but it's not great. So I'm going to ink the plates again, and I'm going to run this again. And you will see that this is done in the exact same spot. The camera takes a second to focus, and you can see the difference in terms of color. So you can do multiple Betterpress to apply a variety of techniques, not just for this. Then it was when I started experimenting. So I was using here VersaFine clear ink. This is a black ink, and I'm using also Arches watercolor paper. This is a 300 grams watercolor paper, and this works. Then I just decided to grab a piece of smooth cardstock. This is 250 grams. Then I use the same VersaFine ink, and this works. So I was eyeballing this, and I said, what is the difference? And yes, you will see a difference. This is the cotton paper. This here is the watercolor paper, and this here is the smooth cardstock. But when you see this in real life, the texture of the paper, this is gorgeous. And the other ones are okay, it works, but this cotton paper is just stunning. Then I say, okay, what happens if I just print this on color cardstock? What if I do some tone-on-tone printing? And this time I've used French blue Betterpress ink. And this is the result on that paper. So it's also gorgeous, but it's not as well defined as on the cotton paper. But you know that you can repeat, and you can achieve a beautiful printing as well. Then I thought, okay, what other medium I can use? Why no acrylic paints? And then soon I noticed that I was making a big mistake because the printing wasn't good. There was too much paint all over it, and I was spoiling the paper. Don't worry, I wasn't using my precious cotton cardstock here. I was using mixed media or some other paper. And then I start brushing the paint and running this over the machine, and then I got something better, but it wasn't good enough. Just because that acrylic paint that I was using was too liquid. So then I got these Artisa acrylic paints that are a little bit thicker or creamy, or they have more body. And then I also allow them to dry a little bit. And then I run this through the machine, and look at this. It's hard to show in camera, but that golden acrylic paint that was underneath is also showing through that. And then I use another color and it's also showing that metallic look through that. And this is watercolor paper. And then I keep experimenting, you know. I made another one. And this time I use mixed media paper and it works. So I made 3 printings using acrylic paint, using watercolor paper, that is the first printing, then cotton paper, that is the second printing, and then mixed media paper, that is the third printing there in the picture. And again, the cotton paper looks better. I also wanted to show you one of the 2 Sentiments press plates that are available with this new release. This is extremely clever. You can just press all these sentiments into the paper in one go, and look at the sentiments. They are very sharp, well defined. There's no any imperfection on them, just gorgeous. And you also get the coordinating die to cut them all in one go. I just want to warn you, and if you buy this and you try it, this is going to be a new fever. And one of the first questions I have was if I could use my Glimmer plates on the Betterpress. I was told not to do it, but then I was thinking, okay, if I remove these 3 white chims from underneath the gray mat, knowing that the Glimmer plate is a little bit thicker than the press plate, would not that work? So this was my first attempt, also using VersaFine black ink. And I noticed that the plate was moving when I was inking it. So I will advise to remove the plastic, just leave the platform and wrap it around with the masking tape to keep everything in place, and then run this through the machine. But when I was placing the paper on the top plate, the VersaFine ink that I applied on the Glimmer plate was vanishing, and then I have to reapply the ink. Betterpress ink won't do that. It will stay over the metal for longer and you will have time to do stuff. Here you have to reapply ink. It's not a problem, you can do that. And then I want you to pay attention to the sounds of my die cutting machine when I was doing this. I was sweating. I was really scared to break my Betterpress. I will cry, but it worked. So, if you want to do this, it's under your own risk. No forcing the machine, no cracking noises, and don't say, Bibi, make me damage my Betterpress. I was told I could not use this, and I'm naughty. I just did it, and I even use also a Glimmer plate that is a sentiment. I want to show you here how it looks, and I think that looks fine, and my machine is fine. I didn't damage anything removing those 3 chims, and I just thought that if you can do Glimmer with the Betterpress plates, you can also do Betterpress with Glimmer plates. Why not? Even different brands of hot plates are the same thickness, but that's something I need to explore more. Now let me show you how to use your Betterpress as a stamping platform. You need to tape the paper to the mat and then tape the mat to the platform. And then you need to use this like if you were using any stamping platform. You can stamp several times in the same spot, achieving crisp images. I didn't ink the stamp properly, just to show you. Even if you remove the top plate completely and then you stamp again over, you will stamp in the same spot. This is actually really nice. If you don't have a stamping platform, this is a way to get the most of your Betterpress. And last but not least, you can also use the magnetic chim or the magnetic mat from the Betterpress with magnets to hold a stencil. The magnets are not going to do the whole work. You still need your hand to keep that stencil in place. This is just a little help, and this idea might be useful for you. So the Betterpress is designed to do letterpress, and that's it. You can use a variety of inks, including acrylic paints or other mediums. You can also use different papers, but the Betterpress branded products are the best to use with the system. I don't have any card samples for you today. At this stage, I was just experimenting, as you could see in this video. But now that I know what I can do with the Betterpress, I'm going to be sharing a lot more samples and ideas on my blog. So make sure to subscribe to my blog. The link to my blog and the supply list is in the video description just below this video. So that's all for today. Thank you very much for watching and happy crafting. Bye!